Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another wonderful episode of the Wonders of Science with Mr. Whybrew. This is Season 4, Episode 3, and in this episode I'm going to answer the question, who is Robert Hooke? Does anyone know? Does anyone want to take a guess? Anyone? Alright, so let me go ahead and answer that question. So who is Robert Hooke? Well, Robert Hooke is an English scientist, architect, and polymath who, while using a microscope, was actually the first to visualize a microorganism, that being microfungus. And that particular microfungus was called mucor. That's M-U-C-O-R. Now you might wonder, one of those words I mentioned back there, polymath, what is that? Well, you might know poly as many, and math is of course a discipline or a subject you've learned in school, but the term polymath actually refers to a person who has knowledge which spans a substantial number of subjects. Now this will make sense considering that actually Robert Hooke was actually a professor of geometry at Gresham College in London, and as you can notice, he had a variety of interests in fields that he was in. Now he is actually known, Robert Hooke is actually known for actually viewing cork. If you don't know what a cork is, like in bottles they'll have corks, viewing a cork through a microscope and then giving the name to what he saw under the microscope as cells. And the reason he called them cells was because they reminded him of the cells in a monastery. Now this observation and others that he wrote down in a book that he wrote, which he called micrographia, micro being small, graphia referring to writing, in other words, writings about small things, was certainly a significant contribution and influenced the person we talked about in the previous video, that is Antony van Leeuwenhoek. Pretty cool. Now, like van Leeuwenhoek, he was a member of the Royal Society. Robert Hooke was born on July 18th of 1635, so you can see that Antony van Leeuwenhoek and Robert Hooke were living around the same time period. Pretty cool. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on now to our fun science fact of the day. Get this, did you know that a king cobra is the biggest of all poisonous snakes? And get this, it can actually grow over to 4 meters in length. In other words, over 13 feet in length. That's huge. Wow. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me for another wonderful episode of the Wonders of Science with Mr. Whybrew. Keep an eye out for the question that will be at the end of the video. And as always, enjoy the wonders of science. Good day and goodbye.